President Dr. Ben Sells, Director of Athletics David Sharp, and Head Soccer Coach Chris Lawson, we welcome you to today's Great American Conference Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletic Association game between the visiting Hillcats of Rogers State University and your Ouachita Tigers. On behalf of Ouachita Baptist University, we'd like to say a special thank you to Arkadelphia School District for allowing us to play today's game here at Badger Stadium. Also, due to the rain, we won't have the walkout. We will begin play as soon as officials are ready. Starting lineup for Rogers State. In goal, number 1, Declan Vilgoen. Number 2, Matthew Sweetman. Number 4, Michael Benning. Number 8, Grant King. Number 9, Ruben Carrasco. Number 10, Luke Morgan. Number 11, Marcos Masayo. Number 13, Arthur Carajo.
Good afternoon and welcome to rainy Arkadelphia, Arkansas. We're at the campus of Arkadelphia High School for today's Great American Conference matchup between the Rogers State Hillcats and the Ouachita Tigers. Chris Babb, Lawson Sanders here. Rogers State comes into the game with an overall record of 8-5-2, 5-4-0 in GAC play. Ouachita looking for its first win of the season as we match up today. It's supposed to be at Cluck Field, but obviously the rains in the area did not allow us to play where originally planned, and so thanks to Arkadelphia High School for allowing the teams to come to Badger Stadium tonight. Starting lineups on the screen for Ouachita. As you take a look as the officials come out to the field, and we are about ready for action here today in this Great American Conference matchup. Lawson, in the women's match before, there was a steady rain. I think only the last 5 minutes of the match there was either a drizzle or no rain, but then right between matches the rain picked up. We expect it to be this way the rest of the time. The field held up very nicely. Nice drainage system in this turf field. It's 2 years old. Actually, well, it's only 1 full year old. This is the first full season that Arkadelphia has had on this turf field after replacing turf from the previous turf surface. But a lot of rain in that first women's match. I guess probably since 8:30 or 9 o'clock this morning, the field held up nicely.
And we see that the game is off now as Ouachita is starting with the ball here, and very quickly is this game starting off hot as we see a foul there on Ouachita as Ouachita's Eben Jordan fouled Michael Lennon, or correction, that was Declan Viljohan of Rogers State. And Ouachita on their side of the field, Eben Jordan chasing the ball down there, broken up, but we see Ouachita with the ball here. And there we have Daniel Marcano on the ball. And Eben Jordan passing the ball.
Rogers State third in the Great American Conference with 15 points. Southern Nazarene leads the table with 24 points. They've clinched a berth to the GAC tournament. Fort Hays State in second with 20 points. Rogers State in third with 15 points. Northeastern State out of Tahlequah, Oklahoma in fourth with 13 points. So Rogers State trying to creep closer to Fort Hays State, trying to get the 3 points. And Ouachita trying to get its first 3 points of the year in GAC play.
Yes, and Ouachita's, they're coming into this game and they're playing, seems very patient, but they're also playing very quick, as Rogers State already we're seeing has some speed on them. And Ouachita, looks like Alex Murillo is sending the ball there. Grant Isbell passing the ball, the little give and take there as our own Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez, who has called some of the women's games for Ouachita for the Sports Digital Network, was there on the other side of the ball, and he's going back towards the defensive side as we're going to see a Ouachita corner here, and that's going to be kicked by Danny Marcano. Ouachita lining up here as we see this corner being kicked off here. Evan Jordan with a header there. What a ball by Daniel Marcano. And that is a Ouachita goal. Evan Jordan with a header there. And the keeper just was not able to get there for Rogers State. And what a way to start off the game. 42 minutes, 26 seconds left in this first half. That is just over 2.5 minutes. And Evan Jordan had quite a header there. And again, that was just a beautiful corner there by Daniel Marcano. And Rogers State with the ball.
Yeah, Marcano's corner. Jordan found a seam and a nice header into the just inside the post on the right side of the goal and get Ouachita out to a quick 1-0 lead.
And you got to think, I mean, in those 2 minutes, the first 2 minutes of the game, you saw Ouachita very aggressive. As
we just saw the Rogers State. Now we're obviously, as you could tell, we're playing at the Arkadelphia High School. It's the football field and soccer field. The white and red are the football sidelines. The gray stripe is the soccer boundary, and Rogers State, Alex Lang just lost track of where he was. He was thinking the entire green was the boundary, but he just kind of lost track and didn't try to field that pass until it was already out of the field of play. These two teams met up on October 5th in Claremore, Oklahoma. Rogers State, it was tied 0-0 at halftime. Rogers State got 4 goals in the second half to win 4-1. The Ouachita goal came from C.J. Washington, assisted by Enza Koulibaly.
And that ball's kicked up there.
Rogers State, Lawson got goals from George Robinson, Marcos Vasallo, Luke Morgan, and Matthew O'Reilly.
Evan Jordan really attacking the ball early here. And they started the game off so aggressive, and it's nice to see that pay off. And you got to think that they have the momentum here in this early part of the game, and they're going to have to keep playing on that. As you saw last time they matched up, like you said, Chris, 4 goals against Ouachita. You have to think that 1 goal might not be enough for Ouachita, as they might need to create a little more room for error. And there's the Rogers State throw in, and we're going to see them kick it back towards the defenders, kind of create some space there, which is always a good choice, because it'll get a little stacked up if you just stay on your offensive front there. And that's Rogers State. Hugo Martin sending the ball in to Rogers State number 4, and he did not make anything happen with it. Michael Lennon trying to hold on to the ball, but we had Ouachita defenders there, and they just did not let an opportunity slide by them, thankfully, for Ouachita defenders. And Rogers State with the ball again, trying to send it forward, and Ouachita defenders trying to clear it out, but the ball sent towards the box by Rogers State, looked like number 10, Luke Morgan, and we see Dylan Steele clearing the ball out. And that is a Ouachita player. Looks like Marshall Prather, slow to get up, but he seems to be all right. And we're going to see Ouachita kick the ball off here as Marshall Prather was knocked down by Rogers State, number 23, Hugo Martin. And that ball sent in towards Evan Jordan, not able to get his head on it that time. Ouachita trying to maintain possession. A little bicycle kick there by what looked like Declan Viljohan. And they're sending the ball in. No connection there for Rogers State's forward, number 11. And he is sending that ball, Marcos Vasallo, sending that ball and not able to make anything happen. And they're going to have another throw in here. Couple opportunities for Rogers State. A little dangerous for Ouachita, but the defenders clearing it out, really trying to help their goalkeeper, Dylan Steele, as they don't want them to have the ball. And we're going to see Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez on the ball there. And there is the clearance there by the Oklahoma Baptist keeper, like Casey Copenhaver, clearing the ball there. And we see Ouachita's Christian Baker clearing the ball out, and Rogers State just holding on to possession as they're sending the ball to their defensive side of the field, keeping only 2 guys back. A very aggressive attacking formation by Rogers State. It's got to show some confidence in their back 2 guys, as they're only leaving 2 guys back there. But Ouachita feeding into that aggressive formation and sending their forwards back to help. Rogers State sent the ball out. And we might see the ref stop play, as there's a Rogers State player on the ground. He has yet to stop it. He is very slow to get up. As we see Marshall Prather try to send the ball towards the goal. They're going to have a corner kick, but we will see the ref stop the game, and he is going to stop the clock now, as Rogers State player had a collision in his shin with one of the Ouachita players, and that looks like Rogers State, possibly Matthew O'Reilly, on the ground there, and he seems to be all right. A little collision with his shin there, and I'm sure he just needed a second. And he is going to favor his leg a little bit, but he is running towards the box there for the corner that is lined up. For Ouachita is actually, correction, a throw in. See Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez throwing the ball in here. And there's no connection as Rogers State's running up the sideline, but Ouachita crossing the ball in. And that cross was by Sebastian Rios, and man, did Rogers State Casey Copenhaver really stop that. And Rogers State sending the ball questionably towards the goal. Hugo Martin put a little too much on that, so it was not very on frame there. Maybe due to some of the conditions, the wet ball and the slippery turf, but not connecting with the ball the way he wanted to. Probably wishing he had that one back. And Rogers State with the ball again. Not much attack seen by Ouachita since their goal by Evan Jordan just 2.5 minutes into the game, as Rogers State's really held possession here in Ouachita's defensive third. And thankfully, Ouachita's defense maintaining, their 1-0 lead here, despite Rogers State attacking in that defensive third. And there's going to be a throw in by the Tigers here. And we are going to... There's Evan Jordan, who tried to get on with the ball, but it was knocked out of bounds, and they're going to have another throw in here. And we have a foul there. The ref did not like what Rogers State's Artur Carvalho was holding a little bit, and probably the right call. We're going to see Daniel Marcano, who was on the corner kick of the goal earlier in this game, sending this ball just off the 43-yard line of the football field there, you can see. And he is going to try to make something happen. Ouachita's really been playing a lot of defense. Evan Jordan not getting his head on the ball. Attempted clearance. And we see Rogers State running up the sideline there. And there's an opportunity there by Rogers State number 9 as Christian Baker of Ouachita is going to clear that out. And Rogers State Ruben Carrasco had an opportunity one-on-one with the keeper, and man, did Dylan Stahl, you could say, stalled the goal from happening, and was able to make an opportunity turn into nothing. But that was quite a shot by Ruben Carrasco there. There's Alfonso Gonzalez-Gomez losing the ball there. The Rogers State throw in just by the corner. And we're going to have a throw in here. That is something that Ouachita's going to have to keep up on the defenses. Their defense is staying strong, but a couple opportunities are going to sneak through, and the ball's on that side of the field as much. And Dylan Stahl really showing some strength there, not afraid to attack a one-on-one with one of the Rogers State forwards. And that ball is going to be switched to the other side of the field with some room to run here. And a deflection there. The ball sent by Matthew Sweetman. And that is Rogers State's number 10 sending the ball. That was Luke Morgan sending the ball to Matthew O'Reilly. And whistle called by the ref. And we are going to have a penalty kick here. And that we're going to guess that might have been a handball there. I did not see the Ouachita defender on it. Possibly, you know, I see number 6 there arguing a little bit. Number 16, excuse me, sorry. Marshall Prather possibly on it. But there's number 10 of Rogers State. That's Luke Morgan lined up. Dylan Stahl in goal. And the ref talking to Ouachita players right now, Marshall Prather, who my guess is had the handball. It's hard to know. Luke Morgan taking the shot right-footed. And Dylan Stahl guessed right, but he was just a tad slow to getting to the shot placement. And that's a hard spot to be in as a keeper. And that one's really not on him. He guessed right. He went for the ball. And Luke Morgan snuck that in there, tying the game 1-1. 31:43 left on the clock here. And that is just unfortunate for the Tigers. It's a little bit out of their control. If that was a handball there, you know, it happens sometimes, but you got to think that's a little frustrating for Ouachita and there to lose the lead that way. But Dylan Stahl has shown that he can stop some opportunities there. That is just not on the keeper there on a penalty kick. And Ouachita is going to be quite aggressive trying to get this ball from Rogers State. And we're going to see a pass there by the keeper, Declan Viljohan. And we see Alex Lang on the ball here. He's going to throw the ball in after it was deflected by Grant Isbell, who had the sole goal earlier this week in a 1-4 loss against Southern Nazarene. Grant Isbell had a nice little breakaway shot. And we haven't seen much of him yet today, but I'm sure we're going to. But Rogers State's going to line up for a corner here. And Ouachita played Southern Nazarene earlier this week, as well as the women's played Southern Nazarene. And Southern Nazarene men's are ranked number 1 in the conference and now 16th in the nation. And took down Ouachita 4-1. But Grant Isbell with a nice goal in that game, hoping to start a little streak and get another goal in this one, as they're going to need a few more goals, as this is an aggressive game against Rogers State. And that was a clearance there, much needed by Ouachita's Braden Hall. Braden Hall and Christian Baker had a nice little line there. In a short corner, 23 is going to kick the ball in, and that's a shot deflected. Again, another shot by Ruben Carrasco, who's had about 3 in the last 5 minutes. And we see Alex Lang in the back controlling the ball. They're going to send the ball in here. Christian Baker trying to head it out, clear it. Eben Jordan trying to hold control of the ball, really just kicking it up in the air a few times. Physical play there between Rogers State, and what a tackle there by Alex Murillo of Ouachita. It's going to be a Rogers State throw-in, but could have been dangerous had he not tackled there. And there, again, we see Ruben Carrasco, who had a breakaway one-on-one with Dylan Stahl earlier in the game and was not able to tackle it. But we've been able to see that he's not afraid to take a shot. And so Ouachita will probably want to keep the ball away from his feet as much as possible. And there's the defenders of Rogers State holding onto the ball. Like we said earlier, Rogers State and Ouachita played earlier on in this season where Ouachita went down to Rogers State and played a game and lost in a 4-1 Rogers State victory. And Ouachita really just trying to make something, try to get their first win on the season. And a good way to start the game with Eben Jordan. And there's a header being sent in. Christian Baker trying to clear it out with a header. Grant Isbell on it, and there was a possible offsides there. Or I guess they're going to call a handball on, looked like Rogers State, Matthew Sweetman. They did not like, the refs did not like where that hit on his body, and Dylan Stahl is going to send it out to midfield. And there's now a Rogers State free kick, as there was an offsides possibly there by Marshall Prather. And a ball sent too far. Gonna have a goal kick. Dylan Stahl here. Dylan Stahl with the ball, trying to watch out, being a little patient here, sending it to Eben Jordan. And there's a little quick give and take there as we see Ouachita's Sebastian Rios. And a high kick there by Eben Jordan. Yep, that is going to be called. As he was trying to control the ball, but probably let it go a little, let his foot go a little too high. The ref didn't like it. And then Ouachita's going to have the ball here. Christian Baker sending it to Sebastian Rios, to Daniel Marcano. And Rogers State player not agreeing with that call, as the ref called what looks like Luke Morgan on Daniel Marcano. He was getting a little physical, and Luke Morgan was not afraid to tell the ref how he felt about it. Sebastian Rios to Eben Jordan. Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez on the sideline here. Not exactly sure what the sideline ref saw there, as it might have been clear to a few people that that ball was off of Ouachita, and Grant Isbell with the shot there, and way too excited and sent that ball a little high, a little right. There's a good opportunity there set up by Eben Jordan. So a weird little situation with the sideline ref, and maybe not seeing exactly how the play went down, as Eben Jordan clearly kicked the ball out and they let Ouachita have the throw in, but it was a good opportunity for Ouachita, and we're going to see a goal kick here. And there we go with Declan Viljohan taking his time on a goal kick here, as I guess the ref is talking to the Rogers State coach, having I'm sure, a very nice conversation there, and he's probably going to let the play go on here. We have a throw in here by Rogers State. There's Evan Jordan sending the ball from deep. Oh, wow, there was Ouachita. Braden Hall coming in hot after Evan Jordan sent in a deep ball in the upper 90. Braden Hall connected with quite an opportunity, and he was very upset with the outcome of that, slamming into the net actually in frustration, as that was definitely an opportunity for Ouachita, turning into nothing as Vil Johan's going to kick that out to his defenders. Ouachita just 2 days ago played. Oh, we see a breakaway here as another opportunity for Ruben Carrasco, showing his speed, and man, Dylan Stahl not afraid to go after the ball there. Good work by Ouachita's Joseph Latier, who is a senior, and he was very, very quick to get to the ball there, although Carrasco was there on the ball. And we see Ouachita, Marshall Prather with the ball, a little hesitant to passing it and lost it. And there's a whistle, I guess, on, we're going to see an injury.
We'll let you know as soon as it gets back.
Rogers State, Luke Morgan is going to be down on the ground and possibly trying to get up. See how he feels. I'm going to try to play through it as he's hopping. And I guess Marshall Prather had a little foul over there. So they're going to...
I played it for like 2.
There was no foul. They're just going to have a little drop ball. Because Rogers State had the possession in the last...
All my friends played it.
When the whistle was blown. Carrasco trying to make connection with it. And there's Luke Morgan looking all right. Passing the ball to defense. Evan Jordan challenging the defense. Evan Jordan is playing very, very hard and aggressive today, and you got to give him some credit for the effort he's putting in, as he has had the lone goal for the Tigers today. And there was Sebastian Rios with a little deflection there. And we're going to see a foul for sure there on Sebastian Rios. Trying to get to the ball, but got behind the legs of Hugo Martin, who got really tripped up there. And Sebastian Rios just attacking the ball from the back end, kind of got tangled up. The foul looked a little worse than it probably was, just as their legs got tied up with each other. And we're going to see Luke Morgan with the free kick here off the 15-yard line. Carrasco coming in to tap the ball in. Luke Morgan crossing the ball in, and hard to tell who got their head on it. That looked like possibly Marcos Vasallo had his head on it, but Dylan Stahl with the ball. And they're going to check on Joseph Latier, possibly with bloody nose or something, but seems to be all right. And Ouachita's got the ball now. And there he is again. Oh, breakaway. Rogers State had an idea as Alex Lang was on the ball. He had an idea of trying to pass that ball to Carrasco, his lone forward, coming in for a through ball, and did not put enough on it. Turned into nothing, thankfully, for the Tigers. Going to have a substitution here as we see Ryan Harvatin stepping off the field, and a new Rogers State player. Looks like number 5, Ulysses Costera. Some fresh legs for Rogers State. Ulysses Costeras is a defender, sophomore defender of Rogers State, coming in for the corner. And that is a header deflected there by Marcos Vasallo. Luke Morgan sending a ball in, and Danny Marcano leaping to clear that out. And we're going to see another corner here, sent in by Luke Morgan. Luke Morgan sending it in. Eben Jordan beating everyone to the ball, trying to clear it, but they're not out of danger. Daniel Marcano sending the ball deep as the defenders of Rogers State are back there, not ready to finish their attack. And really just a back and forth battle in Ouachita's defensive third. Luke Morgan sending the ball through the legs of Alfonso. And thankfully, Dylan Stahl picked that up. The legs of Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez, he just megged right through him. And it was a little dangerous of a shot in the lower left of the goal. Dylan Stahl was ready for it. And he is going to clear the ball out of there. Eben Jordan passing the ball to Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez, and there's Eben Jordan there. Calling an offsides on Grant Isbell, who was trying to get to the ball, but it was just offsides. And Ouachita's defenders all over the ball there as Carrasco is trying to get down the field. Grant Isbell in the midfield now, going to send the ball to no one as Rogers State's there. And there is Rogers State's Marcos Vasallo switching the ball to the other side of the field to Matthew Sweetman. Nothing coming out of it. Ouachita, Grant Isbell with the ball. Going to send it to Jordan, but couldn't get there before the defender of Rogers State. And we have Rogers State has 6 shots, 4 on goal. To Ouachita has 4 shots, 2 on goal. Rogers State with 4 corners already in this half. And Eben Jordan reading that cross there by Rogers State, making something happen to Marshall Prather, and Ouachita trying to maintain possession, really looking strong in this half, playing very, very quick and aggressive. There's Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez trying to send the ball to Prather. We see Sebastian Rios on the ball. There's Eben Jordan passing it. Nice little through ball to Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez, trying to set something up. And what a pass to Marshall Prather, who did not have a touch that he wanted on the ball. Gonzalez Gomez gave him just about the best pass he could, but Prather just threw his legs. And we see a little bit of a counterattack as we're going to see Marcos Vasallo setting something up with Grant King on the ball. Sweetman. There's Vasallo. There's Sweetman on it. And the ball's still in play. Rogers State just maintaining possession right now, being very patient with the ball as they give the ball to Hugo Martin. And he's on the ground doing a good little Neymar impression with his feet in the air, but the ref didn't call anything. And Rogers State defense just trying to maintain possession. We saw earlier today the women's game as they were defeated 1-0 against the Oklahoma Baptist Bison here at the Arkadelphia Stadium, where there was a middle of the first half goal by Oklahoma Baptist, and second half Ouachita really tried their best to tie the game up and could not connect. And there was a header there we saw by Marcos Vasallo, didn't really turn into anything. But the women's game ended in a 1-0 loss, and we are now seeing the men's game here at Arkadelphia as the weather has kind of dried up for the first time in a little bit. Dylan Stahl stopping a ball sent in from midfield. Ouachita trying to get the ball out of their defensive side of the field that's been there for a minute. Ouachita has been on defense more than on offense, but when they are in Rogers State's goal territory, man, are they dangerous, as they've had quite a few opportunities that have looked promising. One that turned into a header by Evan Jordan, on a corner. There's Daniel Marcano on the ball. And Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez to Rios. And Ouachita really just trying to maintain possession, be very patient with their passing. Switching the ball downfield, that's what being patient will do, as Grant Isbell had a promising attack, and man, did he get knocked down to the ground there by Ulysses Costera. And that is a free kick. This is quite a collision, but not too aggressive of a foul. Just a little run-in between Grant Isbell and Ulysses Costera. It's probably the best case scenario for Rogers State, as if Grant Isbell beat that defender, he had a clear line to the goal. Daniel Marcano hoping to add on to that corner assist he had earlier, as Christian Baker was there, passed the ball to Grant Isbell, and Grant Isbell could not connect a goal. Christian Baker wishing that opportunity turned into something, as he had the defender beat in good contact with the ball.
75 subs.
And looks like Ouachita's entire bench might be coming onto the field, as we see a lot of subs, one of them being senior defender Eli Jenkins. And we see Grant Isbell stepping off the field a little frustrated, and we'll probably see him back on the field here in a little bit, wishing he connected on that opportunity that was set up by Christian Baker, who seems Christian Baker is off the field as well. And we see Ouachita's Hunter Reck in the game now. And we see Luca Bonzi in midfield, a little center attacking mid position. And there's a foul there. Eli Jenkins, quick start to the game, just kind of bumped in to one of the Rogers State defenders. Knocked him over a little bit. The ref going to make Rogers State re-kick that free kick. And they're going to send this ball to their defenders, try to make something happen a little calmly and try to be patient with the way they're using their possession. Here's a Rogers State corner. Going to be sent in.
2, 7, 4, 27, 1.
And that corner sent in the backside. Eli Jenkins clearing that out with a header. Could have been dangerous, but not out of the mud yet. But Dylan Stahl on the ball after a little ball sent in by Ulysses Costera. And there is Ouachita's, looked like Will Childers, a freshman out of Conway, Arkansas, chasing down the ball, but could not beat the defender. And there's the keeper out of Rogers State, Declan Viljohan, sending the ball high, a little floater. Some collision between Eli Jenkins and George Robinson. There's a foul there. Rogers State captain Grant King not really sure why there's a foul, but we're going to see a foul on Grant King on Luca Bonzi, and Daniel Marcano is going to kick the ball from midfield. And a collision between Evan Jordan and a Rogers State defender. Both going up for the ball. And Evan Jordan didn't mean to, but did run into the back of Rogers State number 22, Trendon Turner, who seems to be walking it off, but Evan Jordan was aware that he had collided a little harder than had planned to. Was not his intention, but looks like Trendon Turner is going to be all right. So Rogers State throw in. Keeping the ball on Ouachita's side of the field most of the game here. We see Daniel Marcano challenging the ball, who's been just about everywhere on the field today. Very helpful for the Tigers' attack and their defense. There we see Ouachita's Will Childers trying to set something up to Luca Bondi, who has an opportunity and being very patient with the ball and just got it stolen by Grant King, Rogers State captain defender. Luca Bondi getting another opportunity, and we're going to have a Ouachita throw in. We've had 6 fouls by Ouachita, 5 by Rogers State. And Ouachita has had 3 saves on the game, keeping the score tied 1-1 as Dylan Stahl has looked very, very good. The only goal he's let in has been a penalty kick. And other than that, has really been able to stop opportunities. We see a sub as Trendon Turner is getting taken out of the game for now for Rogers State. And looks like Rogers State's Ryan Harvatin possibly back in the game. Correction, that substitute is going to be Cameron Sari, a defender for Rogers State, coming in for Trendon Turner. Ouachita unable to really control the ball there, as we saw C.J. Washington try to make something happen, which C.J. Washington was subbed into the game, who's actually the Ouachita player with the sole goal in the game they played against Rogers State earlier on in the year in their 4-1 loss. C.J. Washington had a goal against Rogers State. Definitely going to be hoping that he can make another one happen here. Probably a good call by Ouachita coaching to throw in that player that was able to make something happen last game against Rogers State. Ouachita taking their time on the throw in. Down the sideline, Ouachita's defender holding the attacker off the ball, and we're going to see a Ouachita throw in, as well as a sub. As that is Inza Koulibaly stepping in for Eben Jordan. Now Inza Koulibaly was the player who assisted the goal for CJ Washington in that game against Rogers State earlier this year. So now that's those two players that made a goal happen, and probably a good call for Ouachita to have them both on the field now, as they're letting Eben Jordan take a rest, who was the Tiger on the goal earlier on in this match, as we are coming down on 5 minutes left in the first half. Eli Jenkins trying to clear the ball out of there, and a collision between Eli Jenkins and looked like George Robinson, forward for Rogers State. They're going to give Robinson a foul there and let Eli Jenkins kick this free kick outside of Ouachita's defensive third. And we see Rogers State lining up a cross that was deflected by Alex Fletcher with the cross. CJ Washington watching the ball go out of bounds, and that's going to be a Rogers State throw-in just on the corner line there. Luca Bondi trying to clear it out, not out of danger yet. And there is Luke Morgan with the ball, sending it just on the line. Alex Fletcher tried to keep it in play but could not keep control of it. Dylan Stahl is going to have a goal kick here. And just 2 days ago, the Ouachita Tigers football team went down to Bethany, Oklahoma, where they played Southern Nazarene and won in a 49-28 road victory, which was a good little comeback for the Tigers, as their last game was a loss against Harding, making them 8-1 in the Great American Conference. And they needed that win. They won 49-28. As I'm looking at the stats there, so we saw Kendall Givens, who has had an amazing year so far. And they had 550 total yards for Ouachita. And Southern Nazarene also with 483 total yards. Quite impressive against Ouachita's defense. And Ouachita did come away with the win. We're looking at this box score right now. Looked like Ouachita had 21 points in the second quarter. Quite impressive. A very much needed win for Ouachita's Tiger football, who will also be playing Henderson State in the Battle of the Ravine in a home game November 11th. Which will be a game no one's going to want to miss. And we see Rogers State attacking here along the sideline, sending the ball in. And man, did that look a little dangerous. And that seemed to be the defender Matthew Sweetman sending that ball in. Or actually, correction, that was Ryan Harbatin sending it in. And there is another foul we see here on Rogers State. That was Ulysses Costera, another foul on him. He's had a couple on Will Childers, who was knocked down on the ground, and the ref's going to talk to the captain, who has not agreed with most of these calls here. The Rogers State captain, Grant King, has had a problem with just about every call, but they're going to let Daniel Marcano kick this free kick. Daniel Marcano kicking the ball here, hoping to repeat his corner that he had, where Eben Jordan got his header on it. Just a little high, no one able to make contact with it. And we're going to see Declan Viljohan go get the ball and set up a goal kick, as we're coming down on just over a minute left in the first half. Viljoen hoping to send this to midfield, and maybe Rogers State can get just one more opportunity on the half to make something happen, but Ouachita's going to get a throw in here at midfield. Both teams hoping to have one last opportunity before they go to halftime. And we're going to see another throw in here. Hagen Sanchez of Ouachita, one of those mini subs that came in earlier in this match. Daniel Marcano stopping a potential counterattack, and a cross from deep from Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez intended for Enza Koulibaly, but not connected. Got 15 seconds left on the clock, and Luca Bonzi sends the ball, and there's Enza Koulibaly with a header in the last 10 seconds. Not much force on there, not very threatening for Declan Viljoen, as that is the end of the first half at the Arkadelphia Football Stadium, where Ouachita and Rogers State tied 1-1. We will get back to you we're going to have some halftime graphics of stats, and we will get back to you on the second half as Ouachita and Rogers State will try to, one of the teams trying to separate in this tied 1-1 game at the current moment.
No matter where you go in Arkansas, you'll probably run into someone you know. That personal connection is what I love about this state. And it's why we have offices and people across Arkansas. People who share your interest and care if you've been hurt.
A local team who will be on your side, by your side.
So if you were injured in an accident, call us at 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
No matter where you live in Arkansas, we have an office nearby.
We'll be on your side, by your side.
Captain Henderson House. We're a home to call your very own when you're away from yours, with a porch to end your night on, surrounded by friends, sharing stories and old times, and a yard with memories of summertime weddings and picnics after the game. We are so thankful for the life this house has seen for nearly 150 years. Come stay with us and join in on our stories. Captain Henderson House, Inn and Events.
I've heard people say Ouachita. 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 Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University. Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it? Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person, and we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
We are an intentionally Christian university. We aren't going to apologize for that. But we're also going to challenge your students academically. We all know we learn more when we're challenged. This is also a place, though, where students are going to be invested in. I've spoken to so many alumni, and they come back again and again to telling me stories, naming names of faculty and staff members, in specific situations where they invested in their lives, and they look back with the benefit of time and see how formative it was in their life. I think another reason is high impact learning. With the Christian liberal arts, you're going to get that broad experience, but we're also going to go deep. Some of the examples that come to mind is we have science students who spend their summer doing undergraduate research, and that is a gateway for graduate school. I think of some of our business students that we've given $1 million to of our endowment to manage real life experience. Or students who are interested in media and culture who go to the Sundance Film Festival, the premier event, to engage with people across the country in this discipline, but also to engage with Christians. But we're also going to be a place where you graduate. We're proud that in the state of Arkansas, among all colleges and universities, Ouachita has the highest graduation rate. You're going to finish on time. But you're not just going to graduate. You're going to be prepared for graduate school, for work. And so at Ouachita, we'll be a better university because of you. And I believe you'll be better because you were at Ouachita.
We believe in a faith that seeks understanding. So as a university, we believe that all of the various things that we study allow us to really develop a more vigorous faith.
Ouachita Baptist is so catered to growing in your spiritual walk.
My interaction with professors and fellow students in classes and learning has helped me learn more about who God is in my personal life.
One of the beauties of the education that we give to our students is to expose them to the various realms of knowledge, which then equips them as men and women of faith to be able to understand and really appreciate the complicated world in which we live.
Ouachita Baptist has taught me how a love for God and a love of learning really go hand in hand.
By coming to Ouachita and finding mentors on staff or upperclassmen who were older than me, I really started to discover who God was and learn how to go to His Word and His truth and learn who He was.
We want you to be the very best you. We believe that's God's plan for youth. We believe that He wants you to develop unique gifts and abilities to the fullest extent and to equip you to have the very best future that you can have.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado del colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieve a lot of the financial burden.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
We welcome you back to the Arkadelphia football stadium as the men's are about 6 minutes into the second half of this game. We see both teams trying to solidify a victory here as they are tied in a 1-1 match here. Ouachita with the first goal just 2.5 minutes into the game. Evan Jordan with a header, and then we had a PK taken by Rogers State. And there's Evan Jordan along the sideline there. He's going to cross the ball in for Grant Isbell, who pushed a defender down, and they're calling him for a foul. And Grant Isbell matched up with Rogers State's Edgar Nino and just had a little bit of a collision. Turned into nothing. Evan Jordan's cross might have been a little high anyways. And there's the captain, Grant King, along the sideline there, not getting to the ball in time. And we see the rain picking up again, as it has just been not really stopping much. They got a little bit of a break for the guys' game, more than the women's had earlier in their match against Oklahoma Baptist. But we can hear the rain on the crowd mic a little bit, and Danny Marcano tripping up the midfielder for Rogers State. That is Luke Morgan there. Luke Morgan's had a couple collisions in this game, but they're going to kick the ball off and try to make something happen here. As we see Matthew Sweetman with the ball, losing it to one of Ouachita's players. Looks like we see Alexis Murillo stopping that. Daniel Marcano with the ball, but he is electing to not kick the free kick. Looks like Dylan Stahl is going to kick this for Ouachita. Try to get the ball on the other side of the field. To Evan Jordan with the header there. And a little touch by Marshall Prather. And Evan Jordan attacking it and sending in a long ball in the lower left side of the box. And Declan Villoen stopped it but did not hold on to the ball. Grant Isbell trying to attack. Oh, a little tackle there by Evan Jordan, who is without a doubt playing very hard today. And that is something you want to see if you are a Ouachita fan, seeing a player play that hard. And Evan Jordan, like we said, had that goal earlier in the game. Clearance there by Ouachita. And he is showing his speed today, showing some aggression, and creating a lot of opportunities for the Tigers. Who's having himself a day, and Evan Jordan trying to capitalize on his opportunities. We got a corner here by, that is going to be Luke Morgan kicking this corner here for Rogers State. Sending it in, header, bouncing off the turf there, quite high. Artur Carvalho sent the ball straight into the ground and bounced just over the frame of the goal. There's a clearance, and Rogers State trying to get the ball back into Ouachita's defensive territory. And a little flopping there by Luke Morgan, and the ref doesn't care. And we're going to see Rogers State on that sideline there, sending the ball in to Ruben Carrasco. And they're going to give Ouachita the ball and a goal kick, as it seems that Alex Lang just ran right out of bounds with the ball. Luke Morgan with the ball. Matthew Sweetman going to cross it, and there's not a man in sight. It was a good idea, but just going to turn into a Ouachita throw-in here by Hagan Sanchez. And he is slow to throw the ball, and there's the throw-in we see, and a tie-up there between Rogers State's Edgar Nino and Marshall Prather. And they call Edgar Nino on a little bit of a hold there, letting Ouachita get possession of the ball here. They're going to try to capitalize on that opportunity. It's Marshall Prather's holding on to, now Marshall Prather was holding on to one of the Rogers State players. Looked like Trendon Turner on the other side of that foul. Grant King sending the ball in deep. Dylan Stahl all over it. And he is going to just lightly toss the ball down, let Christian Baker send the ball to Evan Jordan with a nice touch, but kind of the right idea, but not executed the right way, and Rogers State has the ball now. We see two Ouachita subs lining up to come into the game here. A fresh set of legs, as they're going to have a throw in here. Rogers State looks like they are going to have a sub come in. We see Rogers State number 14 possibly stepping in. Eric Yurtsin, excuse me. And we see Luca Bondi hopping in, as well as Will Childers. Both players were on in the first half, subbed on, and hopping in now as they were part of a few attacks that didn't turn into anything, but seemed very promising. Will Childers had a couple shots on goal. Evan Jordan sending the ball down the line, not able to keep it in bounds. And here's a Hillcat throw-in. There's the Ouachita throw-in. See Braden Hall going to throw the ball in once again on that same sideline. To Evan Jordan. Luca Bondi trying to chase the ball down. There's Grant Isbell showing some speed in a foot race against, that's Alex Lang. And a lot of physicality happening there. The ball stays in as Hugo Martin keeps it in. They're going to call a foul. Looked like Hugo Martin kind of fell over, and they're going to say that possibly that was on Sebastian Rios. The Ouachita fans not loving that call, but it's going to be what it is, and Rogers State's going to have their captain Grant King send this in. Excuse me, this is going to be Luke Morgan. And a header there. Good opportunity by Eric Jertson, and just not able to make something happen out of it. And Eric Jertson wishing that he could do that again, but just over the bar, and Ouachita's got the ball with a promising counterattack. Luca Bondi with a little rough touch, sending the ball out of bounds. And there's a defensive clearance there by Joseph Latier. Latier, a senior out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And we see Rogers State, the Hillcats, with the ball on their defensive side of the field, just trying to control possession a little bit. And both teams really playing physical. The Hillcats not loving the physicality that Ouachita is playing with, but the ref is letting them play through it. And what a slide tackle there by Sebastian Rios. A little slow to get up from it. Didn't look the most comfortable, but it was a great tackle. And a little push and shove there by Daniel Marcano. And that is Alex Lang. And now Marcano and Luke Morgan exchanging some words. They're letting Marcano have the ball now, calling the foul on Alex Lang, and once again, the Hillcats not liking the call that the refs made, being a bit of a trend for the day. And Marcano sending in another ball into the box, as he has done a few times today, and there's been a couple dangerous situations coming out of this. See if Ouachita can make something happen. Evan Jordan wanting to get ahead on it again. Straight to Declan Viljohan, who holds on to the ball, trying to get the Hillcats out of danger. A little bit of a counterattack as Hugo Martin is going to send the ball across the field. Just a miscommunication, and Luke Morgan was further down the field than Hugo Martin thought, and we're going to have a Ouachita throw in here, as the Tigers' Hagen Sanchez is going to throw the ball in despite a promising counterattack by the Hillcats. And there's Hagen Sanchez sprinting down to prevent a corner from happening. And now it's going to be a throw-in. There's Alex Lang going to have the throw in here, just shy of the corner. And a shot, another shot, two shots by Carrasco. And both deflected. Ball sent in from very deep by Artur Cavallo and turns into nothing as Dylan Stahl's all over it. And here we have Alex Lang again with the ball. See if he can do it again. Artur Cavallo trying to make something happen. And very patient passing here. Seeming very promising for the Hillcats. And that's Sweetman sending the ball in. And that is a Hillcat goal by Ryan Harvatin. It was a header set up by a header assist, set up by a cross. I believe that was Hugo Martin on the header that sent it to Harvatin, but Ryan Harvatin with the goal there. And what a promising attack that was for the Hillcats, and it turned into something as they just kept firing. Ouachita could not get possession outside of their defensive side of the field, and it turned into something for the Hillcats. As we see Ouachita, looks like Will Childers going to kick this ball off. And that goal happening with 26 minutes and 41 seconds left in the second half. Now Hillcats 2, Tigers 1, with their first lead of the game as Tigers had the first goal. And now Tigers are trailing by 1 goal. And they're going to try to stay aggressive, stay physical, as that has been the best way that they can play the game, really stopping the Hillcats from making anything happen. And we're going to have a Ouachita throw in here. Looks like Hunter Reck will throw this ball in. Another throw in here for Tigers. And it seems to still be kind of drizzling down, light sprinkling, nothing insane. As the men have been a little more lucky with the rain than the women's game earlier today that kicked off at 11. That's Will Childers chasing the ball down, playing very aggressive right now. There's Alex Lang down the sideline, sending the ball down to Grant King, who's sent it to the middle. Luca Bondi sending the ball to Evan Jordan on the sideline. Jordan could not keep it in. It's going to be a Hillcat throw-in. There's Luca Bondi just clearing the ball out, making them have another throw in there.
Can we
Here's Dylan Stahl with the ball. Daniel Marcano, we've seen a lot of Marcano today. Just had the assist as he kicked the corner that Evan Jordan got a header goal on early in the first few minutes of the game in the first half. Promising attack as Will Childers is going to send this ball towards the middle straight to a Hillcat defender. Marcano bumped into, and now Marcano's got the ball. Tigers possession again. Deep ball sent in as the Hillcat defender, Ryan Harvatin, who just had the goal we saw minutes ago for the Hillcats, stopped anything dangerous that might have come from Marcano on that shot. Grant King passing the ball to Hugo Martin. Hugo Martin might have been a field goal and was knocked over as that turf is wet and a little slippery, and Dylan Stahl is going to have a goal kick. As field goals do not turn into anything in the game of soccer, we're going to see a goal kick here. And there's Grant Isbell passing the ball there. Hunter Reck, excuse me. Eben Jordan getting some air there, not connecting with the ball, but quite impressive. And they're calling a foul on Will Childers. And looked like Matthew Sweetman was knocked around on that one a little bit. I think Sweetman will be okay despite his reaction to that foul. We have Artur Carvalho sending the ball. Ouachita trying to clear the ball out of danger as the Hillcats have possession in their offensive front of the ball. Alex Lang trying to keep it in bounds. He did not. Trying to cause a corner to happen. They're going to have a goal kick. We have 2 Ouachita Tiger subs and 2 Hillcat subs. We're seeing Will Childers step off as Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez is stepping in. We see Marshall Prather stepping on as Grant Isbell is coming off. Matthew Sweetman and Alex Lang coming off the field. And Harry Outerside stepping in, who has yet to play a minute for the Hillcats today. So those are some fresh legs. A deep kick to midfield by Stahl. Hillcats with possession once again. Seem to be dominating the possession in this second half way more than they were in the first half. And there's Hugo Martin sending the ball in. Grant King stopping the clearance. And trying to make something happen out of it is Hillcats' Alex Fletcher, but nothing really came of it. There has been Rogers State has 16 shots on the day compared to the Tigers with 8, but only 5 of them have been on goal. Rogers State not afraid to fire even if they don't have the best opportunity with 16 shots. 5 of them on goal, and of course 2 goals scored. 1 in the first half, 1 in the second, and they're with a promising attack there, and Dylan Stahl is all over it, but Carrasco was on the ball there trying to make a shot happen. And Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez is grabbing the ball here for a Tiger throw in. Luca Bondi with a little too intense of a touch there. Dylan Stahl's had 3 saves today. We've seen a lot of him and some very impressive saves. A very impressive one as Carrasco had a near goal earlier on in the match. Just under 20 minutes left in the match here. We've got 18.5 minutes. And nothing coming out of that But the Tigers are not out of danger. Rogers State is just maintaining possession, which can be very dangerous as they just get opportunity on opportunity. A switch across the field there. A good choice by Rogers State's Ryan Harvaten. There's Alex Fletcher sending the ball into the box. And another shot there taken by Marcos Vasallo, and just not turned into anything. But once again, the Rogers State, we're going to have a stoppage of clock as we have a Tiger down. Seems to be all right, but taking a second to breathe. Hillcats sending the ball back to their defense. Trying to use the whole field here to create separation and create opportunities like they have right now, as Marcos Vasallo with a lot of opportunities the last few minutes. And we see Alex Fletcher dribbling around as Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez is trying to get around to him and can't. Dylan Stahl not in much danger, just goes and grabs the ball. Nice clearance by the Tigers. Tried to keep the ball in, and it hit a Rogers State attacker, and so the Tigers will have a throw in. Maybe be able to hold a little more possession here. We got two subs. We see Vasallo stepping off the field here as Rogers State has let in a sub. Joe Wainwright. Looks like Carrasco's sending the ball to the top of the box. Eli Jenkins, who's just subbed in, playing some aggressive defense there, not letting anything happen. And there is a stoppage of the clock. Refs going to talk to each other. Now there is a yellow card on, I believe, Marshall Prather getting a yellow card. Oh, and now a red card. I don't know exactly what's happening here. There was a lot of cards being flashed excitedly by the ref. And I believe Marshall Prather's coming off the field as he just got red carded, and 3 for St. Edward, or excuse me, for Rogers State. Edgar Nino got a yellow card. Marshall Prather looked like he got a yellow as the ref was walking up to him, and then put the card down, showed another yellow, and then showed a red. Possibly 2 infractions by Marshall Prather that turned into a red card, but that makes the Tigers down 1 player, which is very hard to score down 1 player, let alone hard to keep a team from scoring, but making more opportunities happen with 1 less player as they are down. Daniel Marcano coming in for help. There's players tripped up, but no foul there. As we see Will Childers trying to pass the ball to Evan Jordan. And this game just got really interesting with Marshall Prather being taken out, one of their forwards. we're going to see the way that Coach Lawson wants to play this game, if he wants their one less player being taken out of their attacking front or out of the middle or the back side, as they do want to try to tie this game up and make something out of it. I'm imagining there were some words exchanged by the Tigers and Hillcats players, as there were multiple cards thrown, but not necessarily any fouls happening. That is a handball there. Third handball of the game. Second for the Tigers, as the first handball was on Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez in the box, just on the line, outside and inside of the box. And the refs called it inside of the box and set up a penalty kick goal for the Hillcats, their first goal of the game. And there's another Tigers handball that has set up an attack for the Hillcats. Ball sent in, nothing really of danger, as George Robinson tried to send the ball in. And Evan Jordan trying to maintain possession, heading the ball to his teammate, Will Childers. A lot of kickball happening. Someone trying to, Evan settling the ball on the ground but not maintaining possession. We see 2 attackers for the Tigers and 4 defenders, but only 2 midfielders, which is where it seems the Tigers have taken that spot away, as Marshall Prather is off the field. And the Tigers are going to stay with strong defense, but also they're not afraid to attack. Will Childers and Evan Jordan up there. We're going to have some subs here. Daniel Marcano stepping off the field. Looks like Grant Isbell is on the field for Will Childers now. And we see Sebastian Rios on the field now for Daniel Marcano. And there is Dylan Stahl, was challenged a little bit by a forward of the Hillcats and not really worried. Very patient. Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez, Sebastian Rios, Eli Jenkins. Just a lot of patient passing here by the Tigers, and then Roger State gets the ball again. There's a free kick. Alex Fletcher. Dylan Stahl jumping up high, grabbing the ball. Not much of a challenge by any of the forwards for the Hillcats, but Dylan Stahl preventing anything that might have caused more separation on the Hillcats against the Tigers, as Evan Jordan trying to hold on to the ball. Very patient passing happening here in the last few minutes for the Tigers, as the clock winds down to 11 minutes left. Hunter Reck jumping up for that, and Evan Jordan just, man, is he playing aggressive and smart today. Setting up a great pass there for a counterattack for Hagen Sanchez. Passes the ball to Grant Isbell, and sending the ball back to Sebastian Rios, trying to create some separation. Ball into the box, turning into nothing, and now a counterattack. Lined up in a foot race, Eli Jenkins clearing the ball out a little bit from Eric Yurtson. Eli Jenkins fouling Eric Yurtson. And we will see the clock stop. And I'm afraid that is going to be a card for Eli Jenkins. And another card shown by the ref, who is not liking the physicality the Tigers are showing, as he has not been afraid to show this card. And Man, can the Tigers not afford to lose another player here. You got to think maybe Coach Lawson will consider replacing Eli Jenkins to not risk losing him in this game, as he has a card now. It's going to be Rogers State, Hugo Martin sending this ball into the box. Deep ball, header by Eric Jertson. Turns into nothing as Dylan Stahl once again has a nice save there. Rogers State now with 17 shots. They've had 7 corners. Tigers have had less than half the shots of Rogers State, but really when you look at shots on goal, it's been quite even. Tigers undoubtedly with less opportunities, though, as Rogers State is coming in again into the box. But Tigers defensive front keeps it out. Sebastian Rios. Hunter Reck pushing it down the sideline to Grant Isbell, who had a defender on him, and Grant Isbell was able to get the ball despite having a bad touch. Hunter Reck fighting for the ball, and it looks like 6 is holding on to Hunter Reck big time, and they're calling that foul on Hunter Reck and not on Joe Wainwright, who the Ouachita fans do not agree with that call. There was a little bit of grabbing and shoving on both sides, but they're going to call it on Hunter Reck. Eli Jenkins trying to clear the ball, but sending it to Ouachita defender. Excuse me. Sending it to a Rogers State attacker, but really turned into nothing. Dylan Stahl went and chased the ball down, lining up for a goal kick here. And we're seeing about 4 or 5 substitutes in. We've got some of the starters back in. Matthew Sweetman stepping back onto the field. There's Ruben Carrasco again. Grant King, the captain for the Hillcats, is back on the field. And as well as Luke Morgan. So these starters that were able to make things happen earlier on in the game. There's a shot, not very worrisome by Joe Wainwright, as it really turned into nothing. An opportunity, but a bad touch by Wainwright, and going to turn into a goal kick. Eben Jordan knocked down by Joe Wainwright. They're going to call it clean. And there's a little foot race down the sideline. A very risky tackle made by Hagen Sanchez, but it was clean and he got on the ball, forcing a corner kick. That is always risky to do in a penalty box situation, as they were inside the box, well inside the box there. Hagen Sanchez weighed his risks and it paid off. Now we see a Hillcats corner. Luke Morgan sending it in. Eli Jenkins stopping it and stomping up the sideline, sending a very nice through ball to Grant Isbell in a foot race against Sweetman. Sweetman trips up Grant Isbell, but thankfully got to the ball first. And Sebastian Rios getting called on a foul there on George Robinson. And once again, the fans not liking the call. Now Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez fighting with the captain Grant King there along the sideline. But that's going to be a Hillcat throw in. Eli Jenkins clearing the ball out. Jenkins has a yellow card, but has been very productive on defense for the Tigers, not letting much go by him. Sebastian Rios preventing a corner from happening. We're going to have a throw in. Actually, the ref is saying that was outside of the flag, and they're going to give a corner kick here. There's Luke Morgan kicking the ball in. And a nice kick turns into nothing as Trendon Turner trips up one of the Ouachita players trying to get to the ball. Nothing's called, and another Hillcat corner. New corner taker here, Ruben Carrasco. On the other side of the field, obviously the coach wanting someone else to kick. As Carrasco looks like he will be kicking with his left foot here. Luke Morgan. A ball set up there very nicely by the Hillcats. Looked by George Robinson, but Alfonso Gonzalez Gomez all over that. Clearing it out with a header. There's Sweetman with the throw in. Another Ouachita throw in. Ouachita with possession. It's been a lot of possession on that defensive side of the field for Ouachita, so we have not seen them attack the Rogers State box much since they lost Marshall Prather to a red card. And we are closing in on 3 minutes left in the game. Tigers down 1 goal to the Hillcats. Wanting to make something happen out of it, but Rogers State really holding on to possession as Tigers are down a player. And there's a goal kick for Dylan Stahl. Stahl going to clear this ball out. Goal kick. And Rogers State once again with possession. George Robinson going to pass the ball here to Grant King. Sending it. Wanted Carrasco, but didn't turn into anything. There's a goal kick. Rogers State trying to make something happen here. There's Sweetman and Hunter Reck running into Sweetman. Sweetman going to roll around in pain, and there is another card for the Tigers there. Possibly exaggerated, maybe not. Sweetman getting up, and that is a few cards we have seen against the Tigers here, who are playing aggressive without a doubt, and the ref is not loving it. 53 seconds left on the clock. And they're going to call a goal kick here as Dylan Stahl is going to send the ball off with 40 seconds, and Tigers are going to try to make one last chance of an attack. But again, the ball is being sent into that defensive side of the field. And that is very offsides by Carrasco. And they're going to call time here as that was some time wasting by Carrasco. And now he gets a yellow card. Man, is the ref enjoying pulling that out right now, as Carrasco probably deserved it with some time wasting there. Just 25 seconds left on the clock, and was called offsides and just shot the ball off to shoot it off. We see Dylan Stahl about to kick the ball here. One last promising chance for the Tigers. Eben Jordan got a little piece on that. We got 10 seconds left in the game.
9, 8,
Rogers State with
7,
possession here.
6, 5,
Danny Rojas.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And that is the game here at the Arkadelphia Stadium.
Of today's game,
we have Tigers 1, Rogers State 2. Ouachita taking the loss despite being up in the first few minutes of the game. And it was a good game. It was a good try. Thankfully, Ouachita was able to have this game at the Arkadelphia Stadium despite the weather not being able to play at Cluck Field. Rogers State walks away with the win. The women's game earlier today, playing against Oklahoma Baptist, where Oklahoma Baptist came away with the win. And we thank you for watching the broadcast. And the men's team will look to play November 2nd, Thursday, at Tahlequah, Oklahoma, at Northeastern State for their last game of the season. And we thank you for watching the broadcast.
Hey, this is Alex Pruitt with Sports Illustrated Magazine.
This is Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Kranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.